I know the women's team, because of their schedule, had to take today or Saturday off before they play Arkansas Sunday. Just where did the off day fall for you guys this week, and how do you feel like you managed that with the Christmas break?
We've taken, several days off due to the Christmas break, so we just have to look at it. Normally, it depends on how we think the guys are feeling. So we'll just decide depending on it could be tomorrow. It could be Sunday. Excuse me.
Dave?
Gonzo, what stands out about this particular Arkansas team? Same system, but just a lot of different pieces, basically, from what you saw last year?
Oh, yeah. I think, you lose some talented guys and you add some great additions. And, and Tate, Desi's playing tremendous basketball. Moses Moody was a high-profile high school kid. Justin Smith is, I would argue, man, is one of the best grad transfers in the country. Just the way he rebounds the ball. You're talking about 19 rebounds in a game. And just relentless when you watch him on film, his activity, his ability to switch 1 through 5, physical presence. He's obviously played in a lot of high-level games, so that speaks for itself. But and Connor Vano was a 7'3" kid that's, sat out for him last year, but is unique because he's a guy that plays so well on the perimeter. So in most cases, when you see a guy that size, you think he's sprinting to the rim. Well, he'll sprint to the wing or the top of the key and shooting a 3. And he's getting it off at any time you're not there on the catch because he's so long. But again, really good additions. And I think one of the better scoring guys, I think, in college, and I'm not just saying in the SEC, is Noah Taylor, a transfer from Jacksonville, a guy that can really score the ball. Just in a lot of different ways. At the rim, pull-ups, step backs, transition, fun to watch.
Gabe?
Gonzo, you mentioned a little bit after the Tennessee game, some forced shots. In looking back at film of the last couple games, how much of the shooting problems have been taking bad shots, and how much has just been the ball just not going in?
I don't think it's so much as bad shots. I really don't think that. I think because what happens, guys work on shots. I don't think there's a shot outside of maybe pull-up threes sometimes, and not so much later. So it's not so much bad shots. I think you got to give Tennessee credit. They caused us to stand. And I thought, in the first 4 or 5 games, I thought we were standing around earlier, but we were good to make plays, make adjustments. But now you're up against a really talented team that margin for error, slim, standing around. Then I thought we got past it. Then I thought we settled. And then they're a good defensive team, so you have to be able to execute what you're doing on both sides of the basketball. So give them credit for winning the game. But I don't think we played well at all, and I don't think we, of course, played nearly to our talent level. And that's unfortunate.
Mitch?
Gonzo, you've talked a lot about this group, kind of taking their lumps in the past, being experienced. I guess, how have you seen them, handle the first loss of the season?
Oh, I could tell you more after the game tomorrow. But because again, my approach, I'm not one to go into a locker room throwing things around and all that. Just what's the point in that? You address the situation, you move forward, you recognize it. Though when I came up, I was able to respond to whatever that was because I just felt like it was coaching. I never thought that was personal, but that's not necessarily who I am. And before I do anything, I always look in the mirror at me first before I start pointing and say, you should have this, that. You find ways to win as a team. And I just think the culture today with young guys, it's hard for them to grasp that type of attacking one-on-one. So you have to be able to do it in a setting where there's comfort and they not feel like they're being attacked but you have to address the situation. You can't, we didn't do it. We had 21 turnovers. You shouldn't have 21 turnovers. We weren't aggressive in attacking the rim. We didn't move the ball well, all those things. But no, I think they're fine.
Eric?
Gonzo, do you kind of take it as just when everybody faces that Tennessee team for the first time, it's kind of like a mulligan? There's just no way to properly prepare for what they can do to you, or is there tangible things you think you can make ground on for the next time you possibly face them down the road?
Oh no, I'm not sure how everybody else sees, but I just think we didn't play well. That was it. They're a good team. We didn't play well, and you have to give them credit for that. Same way you give Bradley credit for when we don't play well. But we're certainly a much better team than what we showed. That was shocking to me. But what happens is when you get into it, you don't have enough timeouts for guys to settle in and play basketball. Then you get yourself down and you're trying to catch up. Those sorts of things happen, man. They're just, again, if you'd have said that to me before the game, I wouldn't have expected that, no.
Jack?
Sorry, I didn't realize you called on me. Gonzo, a lot of it has been made about Xavier Pinson's shot selection in particular. What are you looking for from him at these next couple of games?
Well, not next couple games. It's just him being a point guard. You're facilitating. I mean, you want him to be aggressive but attacking downhill, but he has to move the ball. He's attacking the rim, making plays, great. But if not, the ball has to move, because what happens when he stands and holds the ball, everybody else stands and they're waiting on him to make plays, and that's hard. When we just have to really do what we practice. Everything if we do what we practice, I have no problem with who we playing against, where we playing against them at all. We have to do what we practice.
Mason?
Hey, Coach. So the team has knelt together in unity before a couple games this season. What are some things that the team has done behind the scenes to continue the conversation about racial equality now that the season's about a month in?
I just think that's your everyday walk, and just recognizing, understanding, and you being better, and meaning you, just all of us, be as a coach. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you come from as a player. It's you trying to be better to in hopes make our community, well, first our locker room, and then our community, which is Columbia, Missouri, and then it spreads from there, making it better, even within your families, because even in your own family, you might have issues that you need to address or deal with, or we try to sweep under the rug. So I think it goes from there, from our program to your families, and then it branches off from there. I just think that there has to be conversation, and we've had these talks before all of this has taken place, and it just helping our guys understand there's a real world out here. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's not going to like how you look, where you come from, and that's okay. But what I always try to do, I try to show them what good or what success and what happiness and what peace looks like, and it doesn't have to do with a color, just who you are and where you come from. And I think I try to represent. When I was growing up, when I left the household, I try to represent my mother and what that looked like and what I tried to be as a person. And I'm hopeful that my kids can do the same. And then our players, when their families raise them, and even within our program, what you try to be. And that's it, and you go from there.
Dave, do you have another one?
Yeah, Konzo, back to on offense, when that ball movement isn't what you want it to be, what usually causes that? Is it just indecisiveness, you think, or guys just being too patient, not aggressive enough?
I wouldn't necessarily say patient, because the pace in which we try to play, getting up and down the floor, you have to move the ball, because again, especially a lot of stuff we do earlier, script is if the ball does this, you do that. If it goes there, you do this. So the ball just has to move. It has to be what we do in practice. I just struggle with being shocked when the game happens. Like, we have to do what we practice, and that's it. If you see something else on the floor that's unique and we can make adjustments, let's make sure everybody is aware of that. And I think that's the big. But when the ball moves, bodies move, then we're a good team. And I said to our guys, at some point we'll pay for it. We paid for it.
Gabe?
Yeah, this Arkansas team obviously has put up some points at different times this year. I'm curious, do you go into games with kind of an idea of, hey, we're going to have to be able to get to this number to stay in this game, or is that just something that happens as a game unfolds?
No, I just think you play in games, because what happens, we know we try to take away, but we don't have a number to say, okay, we hold them. Now, if we were a team that walked the ball up the floor and we played that style, then I would sit there and say we can hold them to 50 points. But it's really taking away things that they're trying to do. You try to take away the A and B options and then force other guys to make plays. But we don't necessarily have a number to hold them to this many points.
Eric, do you have another one?
Yeah, Konzo, I'm just curious. Do you have any New Year's resolutions for yourself or for the team at large?
I've never been a guy that does that, but just try to slowly chop away at being a better person, whatever that is. If I can tighten up the screws as being a better husband, tighten up the screws as being a better father, and I'm saying this jokingly and understanding my 13-year-old daughter, as she grows up, I got to be better at that. Whatever that is, just try to be a little bit better, because I don't do a lot of things. I mean, I work out at a decent rate. my mouth is not filed to the standpoint I got to change my language and all that. So just just try to be a little bit better in everything that I'm doing. Yeah, but other than that, not a lot. Just try to, whatever it is to be good, try to be good.
Natalie?
Coach, a lot has been made as these long layoffs between games. Now, obviously, you have a few games right in a few days here, not like the last few games you've seen. But does it feel any different? Is it more confidence? Is it more, conditioning wise? What's the difference between not having, maybe a 10 or 11-day layoff now?
It just when you have those layoffs, it seems like it might be February because you're kind of bogged down, even though you're not on the floor, because especially when there's unknowns or when you're not playing games, because mentally, as anybody, you prepare for whatever the next thing is. Well, with the unknowns, okay, I'm not sure who we playing against. I'm not sure when we playing. And that can be a mental roller coaster. And all of a sudden the anxiety is a game, is not a game. Should I sleep in today? Should I go work out today? What time is practice? All those things, because we have to make the adjustments as a staff first to give our guys ahead of time to let them know what's going on, so they're prepared. Because I knew when I was a player, I hate to be caught off balance on what was going on. All of a sudden in practice, we were scheduled practice at 10, coach moved up to 8. All that would drive me up a wall. So just the unknowns and managing the pace in which you practice, so you get enough in and not too much. But I do like, hopefully we can get 18 conference games in and just go from there.
Anything else for Coach?